Good morning and hello, my loyal followers. Welcome to this newsletter discussion on the energy of the new moon in Virgo. Welcome also to anybody who's new to my channel. It's been an interesting month for various reasons, and the newsletter that I normally put out on MailChimp has now, I've put it on Substack. That's been interesting for me, but technical challenge. If you're interested in getting the newsletter and you want to be on the mailing list, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about the Virgo value in August. We have a new moon on August the 23rd, which here in Queensland is Saturday afternoon, Saturday the 23rd. Do adjust for your time location. There's a lunar eclipse on the 7th of September, which will be visible in Australia in the early hours of the morning, and this will be a full moon eclipse. There's a reference at the bottom of this talk to check that out. I'm not going to talk about the eclipse this time, other than to say that eclipses always always occur in pairs, and the solar eclipse, as opposed to the lunar eclipse, will occur on September the 22nd and will be visible just on the eastern part of Australia. And I'll talk about that more in the next newsletter, as this will be a new moon eclipse. Okay. So Virgo, what does that mean? Virgo energy includes day-to-day stuff and your daily routine. Virgo likes to have everything categorized and organized. Maybe your pantry needs cleaning out. This energy is very drawn to gut health, especially nutrition. So if you're wanting to adjust your diet, this is a very good time to do that. This is a time when we are inclined to want to be of service, of practical support to others. Who do you know in your neighborhood or your family who could use your help for something? Understand that our neighborhoods are no longer just physical. It might be online. Astrologically, we have a steady background of Pluto in Aquarius, making a trine, a harmonious relationship with Uranus in Gemini, auguring well for new and amazing ideas to be revealed. These two planets are forming positive sextile relationships, opportunities, with Neptune and Saturn currently moving backwards in Aries towards Pisces. Now, considering the volatility of the energy over the last year or so, this is a reasonably steady and energetic background. However, the new moon is square Uranus in Gemini, a challenging aspect, which may disrupt your mental clarity or daily work routines. So this is an opportune time to adjust your daily routine, or maybe includes robotics or AI. Ooh. The Virgo astrological month starts on Saturday, but we have another new moon in Virgo on September 21st. So next time there'll be more information. One of the other features at the moment of the astrology is that Pluto is what's called out of bounds. Now, I've got a reference in the notes for you to check that one out. And so what the hell is out of bounds? Well, just let's not worry about the technicalities. If you want to know the technicalities, check out the video of Rosie Finn because she explains it more clearly. But this out of bounds is the meaning of it is what I really wish to address. And this out of bounds event occurs twice, usually within an orbit of 240 years. That's quite a long time, and maybe not such a long time to be out of bounds. Historical reflections indicate that the influence and the energy of this situation depends on whether Pluto is out of bounds to the north or the south of the ecliptic. In the last out of bounds to the north, we experienced empire-building tyrants such as Stalin and Hitler wanting to expand their boundaries. So what's relevant for us is that Pluto is out of bounds to the south from 2025 to 2035. And he will go in and out of that boundary for the next 10 years. In the past, Pluto out of bounds to the south has given us revolutions, reformations, the rising up of the people, paradigm shifts, and benevolent rulers. This current cycle has evolutionary potential. So maybe it's a global awakening that so many have predicted, because this applies to the people, not necessarily those who rule over us. Pluto in Aquarius often correlates with Pluto out of bounds to the south. And Pluto is in Aquarius till 2043. Some of us won't be around at that time, and never mind. Pluto's movement around the ecliptic, including out of bounds times, reflects a cycle of vision, so vision, power, justice, and reform. And we're currently in the reform part of the cycle. This all correlates with the imperative to create a new and wholesome vision for ourselves and humanity. We are the people. We are not being controlled by others who may not have our best interests in mind. Truths relating to the last 5 years' global events are still showing up everywhere. Those who do not like the truth or want it to be known are still working to stifle that information. Oh, yes, there is blocks happening on media, on mainstream media, and also social media. My friend Birgit Bright, who tried to publish information on the new homeopathy in a book like this, has been blocked from publishing and sharing her very valuable skills and information. I've got a reference for you below as well. She moved to Germany to publish her book, and the timing coincided with the COVID pandemic, and unfortunately has made little progress with her work since. Everything moved to shut her down. But I have to say, in the last few weeks, she's been staying with me, and her medicine has been very helpful in helping my body return to excellent energy after several weeks of feeling unwell and less than energetic. And since Virgo energy is closely associated with health, the comments this time are really focused on health issues. There is a publication called The Light, which has interesting stories that will never make mainstream media or even social media. A big question in this edition is, why are we not talking about the excess deaths in countries with high mRNA vaccination rates? In the past year, this is in inverted commas, in the past year, several peer-reviewed studies have concluded that the COVID-19 vaccines and pandemic countermeasures likely contributed to the rise in excess deaths. Really? In Australia, for 2021 to 2024-25, the excess death rate was 15%, compared with Russia, 0%, and Singapore, 25%. Medical commentator Dr. John Campbell regularly posts on YouTube and has quaint and clever ways of imparting information, which may be controversial. And while correlation does not necessarily mean causation, Dr. John Campbell suggests that the strong correlation at least requires a little more study. Now, I am sad that these statistics are demonstrating what many believed would be the outcome of the subjugation to mandates proclaimed by numerous jurisdictions and orchestrated by the World Economic Forum and other global groups. Now, while investigation is warranted, it's not bringing back those who died unnecessarily. Neither is it reversing the damage that many experienced. I believe there are some antidotes to the poison administered, and if you think you have been affected, you need to chat to your naturopath and seek further advice. But let us also be aware of the damage perpetrated by those who thought they knew better. And be very wary next time any authority wants to expose blanket mandates upon the population. We always have choices. In the meantime, let us use our energy wisely and consider ways in which we can improve our health and our lives going forward. Remember that energy follows thought. Spending too much time pondering on what happened takes away from our energy and our ability to create the futures we want for ourselves and our children. Think about what you want to be doing with your life. What sort of work or occupation gives you pleasure as well as income? How much money do you need? How much money you need depends on your responsibilities. And I know there's certain times in your life when you have debts to pay and children to raise, sometimes your choices are a bit limited. But nevertheless, there's no point in working away at something that does not give you joy or fulfillment in some way. It just depletes the energy of your soul and makes you sick. So I encourage you to find a solution. If this is you, find a solution that is more fulfilling. Are you happy where you're living now? Is there someplace else you'd like to live? Are connections with your friends and associates making you feel uplifted and good about yourself? Do you need to seek other associations? Neptune and Saturn retrograding in Aries back into Pisces gives us space and time to ask these questions and consider solutions. And when these two planets start to move forward, that'll be the time for you to put your plans into action. Saturn turns direct late November, moving into Aries again in February. Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusions, starts its forward motion in December and moves again into Aries in late January. There is time now to dream, to plan, and prepare those plans for execution when the energy goes forward. Now, how else can we use the energy of Virgo? Diet and exercise are Virgo concerns. Are you needing to adjust your diet? I had planned to go on a cleansing diet in this Virgo time, but my body was so unwell that I've been following a restricted diet for me for the last several weeks. I've eliminated gluten altogether. Previously, it was just the wheat. Eliminated butter and cheese and coffee. I like all of those. Along with the energy healing activities from Birgit and from scalar healing and other energy modalities, my body now feels alive again. And it's tough having no energy when one's used to flitting about. I will gradually introduce some of those items back into my otherwise healthy diet. Instead of coffee, I've been enjoying hot chocolate made with real cacao, almond milk, and sweetened with honey. For me, rooibos tea is also quite acceptable. Now think about what might work for you. If it's appropriate, seek advice from a nutritionist and stick to your plan to achieve whatever health outcome you're seeking. Now, recently, a beautiful lady, Melissa Groom, joined me and my house guest, Birgit Bright, for a leisurely afternoon in the sunshine, enjoying a drink, food, and lots of chat. Check out her Facebook page. I'll put the link below. She teaches business owners how to master speaking skills so they can go global. Melissa has grown and evolved very consciously from a colourful background where others may have given up. With three growing children, I first met her, that is, she had the three growing children. I first met her at morning sessions for mums in business here on the coast when I first came here 12 years ago. Now, if you or someone you know is keen to grow and evolve themselves or their business, do check her out. It was a delight to enjoy her company and energy in my home. And she is an inspiration in a world which would prefer to spread doom and gloom. Ugh. No thanks, I don't want that. I decided to go to Ekka the other week, the Brisbane Royal Agricultural Show. And with train fares here in Queensland at 50 cents a journey, it was an easy decision. One of the reasons I attend the show is to see the animals, the large beasts who normally spend time in the paddock. On this particular day, there were magnificent Angus and Brahman cattle and a few Highland beasts. There were also two gentle Jersey cows in stalls, with attendants demonstrating the old-fashioned milking techniques and sharing those skills with visitors. It was very interesting. But I asked, where are the other beef breeds? What about the dairy breeds? Is there a grand parade of all the winners that there used to be? I used to enjoy that, and that was often the highlight of the trips to the show. There was a space near the poultry pavilion where folk could cradle a chick for a few minutes. A young fellow with a box or a basket full of chickens was gently handing them out to people sitting around in a circle. What a lovely experience for folk who've never had any connection with farm animals. I might be a bit old-fashioned, but the noisy rides and entertainment don't appeal to me. And neither did the stalls offering show specials. So I can't tell you what was good value for money this time. Anyway, I had a good day and just reporting in. We still have to have fun with life, even though you might be following a new diet or following a particular exercise regime. So now that's all for this energy of Virgo. And I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll talk to you again for the next new moon in Virgo at mid-December. Bye for now.